There are exactly 4 grammar structures that, when you use them naturally, signal to examiners that you're operating at a high level, like immediately, within the first 30 seconds.
Just 4?
Just 4. And the crazy thing is, they're not difficult, they're not advanced. Most students could use them, they just don't know they should be.
Wait, so this isn't about learning new grammar?
It's not about learning new grammar. It's about using grammar you already half know in the right places at the right times. And by the end of this episode, you're going to walk away with 4 structures you can drop into any IELTS speaking answer this week.
Right. Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm Felicity, and that's Anthony, who has just promised to share what sounds like a grammar cheat code.
It is a grammar cheat code. I will own that.
Quick reminder for new listeners, Anthony has spent over a decade as an actual IELTS speaking examiner, thousands of real tests. And one of the patterns he saw most consistently were candidates who had perfectly good vocabulary, decent fluency, but their grammar was flat, repetitive, all simple sentences, and it was killing their score.
It was heartbreaking because grammar is one of the 4 scoring criteria, equally weighted with vocabulary, fluency, and pronunciation. So if your grammar is at band 5 and everything else is at band 7, your overall score gets dragged down, and the examiner literally has to mark you down. They have no choice.
So today, episode 25, we're fixing that permanently.
Permanently. 4 structures. That's it. And here's the format. For each one, I'm going to give you the boring version that most students use, then the upgraded version. And then I'll tell you exactly when to drop it in a real IELTS answer.
Let's go. Structure number 1.
Structure number 1, conditionals, and specifically the second and third conditional. Now, most students learn the first conditional. If it rains, I'll stay home. And they stop there. That's a band 5 conditional. The examiners hear it constantly.
What does the upgraded version sound like?
Listen to the difference. Boring version, if I have time, I'll visit my grandmother. Upgraded version, if I had more time, I'd visit her more often. Or even better, if I'd known how busy this year was going to be, I would have visited her more last summer.
Oh, wow. That second one is a completely different sentence.
Completely different. That's a third conditional. If I had known, I would have visited. It's talking about a hypothetical past. And here's why examiners love it. It demonstrates that you can manipulate verb tenses across multiple time frames in a single sentence. Past perfect, modal perfect, all working together. That's a band 8 grammar move right there.
And when would you actually use this in a real test?
Honestly, anytime you're talking about a regret, a missed opportunity, or how things could have been different. Part 1, have you traveled much? Not as much as I'd like, actually. If I'd started traveling earlier in my 20s, I think I would have built up a much better collection of stories. Boom, you've used a third conditional to answer a simple question, and the examiner just bumped you up.
That's so sneaky. I love it.
And there's an even more sophisticated version, inversion. Instead of if I had known, you can say had I known. Listen, had I known how challenging this course was going to be, I might have prepared differently. That's an inverted conditional. It's almost showing off, but it's the kind of showing off examiners absolutely love.
Felicity, surprised. Repeat that one for the listeners.
Had I known. Had I known, I might have done things differently. Drill that. It's gorgeous. Okay, structure number 2.
Yes, give us number 2.
Structure number 2, passive voice. Now, hear me out, because most teachers tell you to avoid the passive voice in writing. And in writing, often that's good advice. But in IELTS speaking, the strategic use of passive voice signals sophistication.
Why is that?
Because it shows you can manipulate grammatical structure for emphasis. Listen to the difference. Active version. Someone told me that the test was difficult. Passive version. I was told that the test was quite challenging. Same information, but the passive version sounds more formal, more considered, more academic.
And when would I use it naturally in speaking?
Whenever you're reporting something you heard, read, or were taught. Instead of people say that exercise is good for mental health, try It's been said that exercise has a significant impact on mental health. Instead of, my parents taught me to be polite, try, I was raised to value politeness. The passive lets you describe influences and information without specifying who said what, which is more elegant.
That's interesting. I never thought of passive as elegant before.
It is elegant when used sparingly. The key word is sparingly. Don't drop it into every sentence. Drop it into one or two key moments per answer, and you signal grammatical range without sounding weird.
And quick reminder for listeners, if this is the kind of breakdown you're finding useful, please hit subscribe. We're building a complete strategic toolkit for IELTS speaking, and these grammar structures alone could transform your score this week.
Right. Structure number 3. This one is my favorite.
Exciting. Go.
Structure number 3, perfect continuous tenses. Specifically, the present perfect continuous and past perfect continuous. Now, most students know the present perfect. I have lived here for 5 years. That's fine. It's a band 6 sentence. But the present perfect continuous, I've been living here for 5 years, adds something the simple present doesn't. It adds a sense of ongoing duration, of process, of experience over time.
What does the difference sound like in practice?
Boring version, I have studied English for 10 years. Upgraded version, I've been studying English for about 10 years now, and honestly, I feel like I'm still learning new things every week.
Oh, that's lovely. The I've been studying feels so much more alive.
Because it captures the ongoing nature of the experience. And here's the killer phrase that uses this structure perfectly. I've been thinking about. Use it to introduce opinions. I've been thinking about this topic quite a lot recently, actually. That single phrase signals reflection, ongoing consideration, and grammatical sophistication, all at once.
Drill it for the listeners.
I've been thinking about. Use it as your opening for any part 3 answer. I've been thinking about this question quite a lot, or I've been considering this topic recently, and I think. The been considering version is even slightly more sophisticated.
Brilliant. Okay, structure number 4, the grand finale.
Structure number 4, relative clauses, and specifically embedded relative clauses with which. Now, most students use simple relative clauses. The teacher who taught me English was great. Fine, band 6. But embedded relative clauses, where you tuck a which clause inside another sentence, that's a band 8 move.
Give me an example.
Boring version. The thing that surprised me was the number of students. There were a lot. Upgraded version. The thing that really stood out to me, which I wasn't expecting at all, was the sheer number of international students in the program.
Oh, that which I wasn't expecting tucked in the middle is gorgeous.
That's an embedded relative clause. And here's the trick. Examiners listen for these because they're hard to use without thinking. They demonstrate that you can hold two grammatical ideas in your head at once. Most candidates can't. The ones who can, they get marked up immediately.
And how do you actually practice dropping these into your speech?
Honestly, force yourself to use the phrase which I or which was once in every part 2 answer this week, even if it feels forced at first. My grandmother, who I always looked up to, used to tell me, the first job I had, which I'll never forget, was as a waiter. Train your brain to reach for these structures, and within a week or 2, they become automatic.
Right, Anthony, let's bring it home. 3 takeaways from these 4 structures. What does the listener need to remember?
Okay, number 1, grammar is half your score in IELTS speaking, and it's the half most students neglect. Vocabulary, fluency, and pronunciation get all the attention. But if your grammar stays at band 5, you cannot reach band 7 overall. It's mathematically impossible. So invest the time.
Number 2.
Number 2, pick one structure this week and drill it until it's automatic. Don't try to learn all 4 at once. That's overwhelming and you'll fail. Pick the one that excites you most. For most students, I'd recommend the third conditional or perfect continuous and use it 10 times in practice answers this week. Within 5 days, it'll come naturally.
Got it. And number 3?
Number 3, examiners are listening for structure variety, not perfection. You don't need to use these grammar structures flawlessly. You need to use them at all. A slightly imperfect third conditional scores higher than a perfect simple sentence. Reach for the harder structures, even if you're not sure you'll nail them. The attempt itself is what gets rewarded.
Beautiful. 3 takeaways. Grammar is half your score, drill one structure at a time, and reach for harder structures even if imperfect.
And one final thing for listeners. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the idea of learning 4 grammar structures, don't be. Just remember the 4 phrases that contain them. Had I known for conditionals, I was told that for passive voice, I've been thinking about for perfect continuous, and which I for embedded relative clauses. Memorize those 4 phrases. Use them as launching pads. The grammar will come along for the ride.
Right, before we wrap, quick teaser for next time. Episode 26, we're heading back to part 1 with what I think is one of the most strategically interesting topics in the entire IELTS exam. The topic is, wait for it, learning languages.
It's meta. The examiner is asking you about the thing you are literally doing right now, learning English. And there's a way to use that to your advantage. I'll show you exactly how next episode.
Subscribe so you don't miss it. And in the meantime, pick one of those 4 grammar structures, drill the phrase, and use it 10 times this week. Tag us if you do.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep stretching your grammar, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, everyone.